Okay, let's dive in. We're all living in this relentless rush, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely.
That feeling you get the moment you wake up like you're already running behind.
Mm-hmm.
The material we're exploring today really captures this, describing that, that nonstop hustle of modern life.
It uses Mumbai as such a vivid example, doesn't it?
It really does. Think and hairy traffic at rush hour, the constant ping of WhatsApp.
Right. Instant notifications popping up.
All vying for your attention. And you end the day feeling just absolutely drained.
Totally drained, yeah. And yet somehow, you
Yeah.
didn't really get anything meaningful done.
Exactly.
That sense of being stuck on a high-speed treadmill, putting in all this effort, but, not really moving forward on what actually mattered.
Yeah,
It's so common.
it is.
And this source, it illustrates it so well with that story of someone like Priya. Juggling meetings, emails, clients.
In her marketing job, right.
Yeah, feeling just perpetually busy but not really accomplished.
Yeah.
It's that tension, that exhaustion from trying to cram too much in.
Into too little time. Yeah. And that's exactly why this source feels so valuable. It takes these core ideas from Cal Newport's Slow Productivity Now. You might know Newport from his work on deep work.
Right, deep work, yeah.
Great stuff. And it translates them into these practical, really relatable insights, makes them feel incredibly relevant, especially, like we said, in a place like Mumbai.
So our mission here in this deep dive is really to pull out the essential ideas from this material.
Okay.
Ideas that can help you, the listener, break free from that cycle. The constant busyness that doesn't actually yield results.
It's about finding a way to work effectively, but without all that tension.
Exactly. Doing less, ultimately, but making sure that work matters significantly more.
And the source, it kind of boils it down to 3 really powerful principles.
Yeah.
Honestly, they feel almost counterintuitive today.
You really do. What are they?
Okay, so first, do fewer things. Second, work at a natural pace. And third, obsess over quality.
Fewer things, natural pace, quality.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to unpack each of these, see how they link up, and crucially, how you can start applying them, right away.
All right, let's start with the first one then. Do fewer things. That sounds, it sounds almost like heresy in today's world, doesn't it? All about more, more, more.
Totally. But the insight here, it's not just about being less busy for the sake of it.
Right.
It's about leveraging focus to actually multiply your impact. The source argues that by ruthlessly cutting out the trivial stuff.
The noise.
Yeah, the noise. You free up that cognitive bandwidth, that mental space you need for the deep, meaningful work, concentration amplifying effort.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because reading this, I was really struck by how it talks about the sheer volume of tasks that hit you.
Especially in a busy environment like Mumbai, right?
Exactly. All those little pings, emails, unexpected calls, small requests. What does the source call them? Productivity termites.
Productivity termites. Isn't that brilliant?
It really is. They seem tiny, maybe harmless on their own.
Yeah, like one little email.
But collectively, they just eat away at your most precious resource, your focus, time, and energy.
It makes me think of that Mumbai homemaker example in the source.
Oh, yeah.
Running around all day, cooking, school runs, market trips, 100 little things.
And at the end of it, feeling like they just ran the whole day without actually creating anything, special or lasting.
That's the energy just scattered by those termites.
Spot on. So, okay, if the insight is focus on fewer things to amplify impact,
Yeah.
how do you actually choose those few things amidst all that noise?
Right. That's the key question. The source offers some really practical steps here.
Good. What are they?
It starts with ruthless prioritization, like really ruthless.
Okay.
The source suggests every morning consciously picking just 3 tasks, 3 things that are genuinely important for that day.
And not just any 3, right?
No, exactly. It's about choosing the ones that line up with your big goals or the ones that produce the most value. And then this is the hard part. It says you need to actively ignore the rest.
Ooh, ignore the rest.
Yeah.
That feels difficult.
It does, especially when those termites are constantly buzzing around you.
Absolutely. And that's where the source really pushes back on our digital habits. Step 2 is basically turning off notifications.
Yeah.
Silence WhatsApp, Insta, email alerts, specifically while you're focused on those chosen 3 tasks. Protect that focus.
Makes sense. And step 3.
Learning to say no, politely, but firmly. Declining the non-essential work that doesn't make that important 3 list.
And the payoff for doing this, according to the source, it's huge. It brings in these great historical examples.
Like Isaac Newton, right?
Yes. Spent 2 decades on his masterpiece, the Principia. He wasn't multitasking. He wasn't rushing.
No, just intense, focused patience.
And the result. His work is foundational centuries later. Or a more modern example they use, the Dabbawalas of Mumbai.
Oh, classic example. Love that.
If they tried to manage and deliver every single lunchbox in the city, it would just be chaos.
Total chaos.
But by focusing on their specific manageable system, they achieved this near-perfect efficiency. World-renowned for reliability. That's focus-enabling excellence.
And you see this play out so clearly in Priya's story in the source material.
Right, back to Priya.
She used to feel totally overwhelmed trying to handle like a dozen different things every day.
Been there.
Yeah. But by applying this principle, she shifted her focus.
Yeah.
Took on only, say, 3 major projects at a time.
And she had to communicate that, I imagine, setting boundaries.
Definitely. Had to learn to tell clients effectively, look, I'll take on less volume so I can give you my absolute best work.
And what happened?
The immediate change.
Yeah.
Her boss noticed the quality jump, praised her work, her stress levels plummeted, and she just felt happier, more in control.
Wow.
Doing fewer, more important things allowed her work to really shine.
Okay, that shift from what you do to how you do it, that leads us perfectly into the second core idea from this material.
Which is?
Work at a natural pace. And this feels like a direct challenge to our default high-speed mode.
It really is. I mean, Mumbai life, like so many busy cities, it's almost synonymous with speed, isn't it?
The local trains, the traffic, the instant deadlines.
Yeah. But the source, kind of echoing Newport's ideas, suggests we need to chill a bit. That's the phrase they use.
Chill a bit. I like that.
It advocates for working with your body's energy rhythm, not constantly fighting against it. Some days you're full of, passion and energy.
And some days you're just tired.
Exactly. And that's not just okay. It's natural. It needs to be respected.
It brings to mind that example of the painter Georgia O'Keeffe from the source.
Oh, right. She wouldn't just paint nonstop year-round.
No, she'd have these intense creative bursts, often out in the wilderness in the summer.
Followed by periods of rest, reflection, giving her work and herself the time and space needed.
And her paintings endure because of that patient process. Or Marie Curie.
Another great one.
Took a 2-month break before her breakthrough discovery of radioactivity.
And still won 2 Nobel Prizes. That pause wasn't a weakness at all. It was part of her process.
Exactly.
What's really powerful here is accepting that rhythm. Acknowledging that sustained, high-quality work isn't some constant, unsustainable sprint.
Like that beloved Mumbai Vadapav cellar example.
Yeah, tell us about that.
They might work with incredible energy during peak hours, maybe 6 a.m. to noon.
Right, when everyone's hungry.
But then they might take a proper break in the quieter afternoon, conserve their energy.
And that's why their Vadapav is consistently excellent. Why people line up for it.
Yeah. And for a freelancer, say, this might mean realizing that working 10 hours straight isn't always productive.
Sometimes 4 hours of really focused work, followed by genuine relaxation, is actually far more effective.
So, okay, beyond just deciding to chill, how do you practically find and then work at your natural pace? The source gives a few pointers.
Yeah, it does. First, it's about self-awareness, really paying attention to your energy levels through the day.
Morning person versus night owl kind of thing.
Exactly. If you're sharpest in the morning, tackle your toughest task then. If you hit that afternoon slump, maybe shift to lighter stuff, admin work.
Okay, what else?
Second, build in small, frequent breaks, maybe just 5 minutes every hour. Step away, stretch, clear your head.
These aren't distractions then.
No, the source frames them as essential for energy renewal. And third, be realistic about time, especially for big projects. The source suggests budgeting months, not just weeks, for really significant, impactful work.
And again, seeing this through Priya's experience really helps. By choosing fewer projects, she suddenly had the headspace to start respecting her energy.
She stopped checking emails late into the night.
Exactly. She structured her day with focused work blocks when her energy was highest in the morning for her.
Made time for that walk on Versova Beach in the evening.
Yeah, and committed to really relaxing on Sundays. No work.
And the outcome wasn't just better quality work, which we'll get to, but her stress just vanished. She felt a deeper sense of well-being. It's working smarter, in sync with your own capacity, not just pushing harder all the time.
Which, as you said, brings us perfectly to that third fundamental principle, obsess over quality.
Yes. In a world demanding everything fat instantly, quickly, this feels like maybe the most radical shift.
But maybe the most important.
Quite possibly. It's about recognizing that in the sea of quick, often disposable output, exceptional quality is what makes you and your work unforgettable.
The source really emphasizes this point. When you create something truly magnificent,
people remember it, they seek it out.
And crucially, you feel that deep sense of pride and accomplishment.
The source uses some really powerful examples here, like director Chris Nolan.
Known for films like Oppenheimer?
Exactly. He spends years crafting each film, reportedly doesn't even keep a phone during production to maintain focus.
Wow. His movies aren't rushed at all.
No, they're meticulously built. And the result? There's cinematic events, discussed, appreciated globally for years.
Or John Grisham, after the firm took off.
He didn't just rush out mediocre follow-ups.
No, he consistently delivered bestsellers year after year by maintaining an incredibly high standard of quality in each book.
Quality isn't just some external benchmark, though. It's an internal drive.
Like that Taylor and Kalaba example.
Yeah, explain that one.
If they aim to stitch, say, 20 shirts a day, rushing each one, the seams would be crooked, buttons loose,
Yeah, shoddy work.
But if they focus on just 5 shirts, perfecting every single stitch, every detail,
their customers would become devoted. They'd tell everyone, purely based on that excellent craftsmanship.
Or think about a YouTuber in Mumbai. Uploading low-effort videos daily might get some quick clicks.
But uploading one video a week that's deeply researched, beautifully edited, genuinely valuable.
That's what builds a loyal audience, lasting impact.
So how do you actually cultivate this obsession with quality? Especially when the pressure is always faster.
The source suggests a few key practices. First, make excellence your non-negotiable standard.
Whatever you're producing, a report, code, art, anything.
Right. Review it relentlessly. Iterate, refine, make it the absolute best you possibly can.
Okay.
What else? Second, commit to continuous learning. Set aside time each month to acquire new skills or deepen existing ones related to your craft.
That fuels your ability to produce higher quality work over time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And third, this is interesting, decouple your self-worth and the perceived success of your work from external metrics.
Likes, shares, immediate praise.
Yeah. Focus instead on the intrinsic quality of the work itself.
And wrapping up Priya's story, this is really where it all comes together.
Culminate.
By having fewer projects, that's principle 1.
Right.
And managing her energy, effectively principle 2.
Mm-hmm.
She finally had the time, the focus, the mental space to obsess over quality, principle 3.
She stopped just trying to finish things quickly.
And started asking, how can I make this truly magnificent? Put in the extra research, refined her presentations, gave herself the grace of time.
And the result for her.
Her work stood out so much she was offered a promotion. But more importantly, she felt that profound sense of pride and happiness in what she was creating.
That's huge.
The material also adds a few sort of bonus tips that fit really well with this whole slow productivity approach.
Oh yeah. Like what?
Break your dependence on constant internet connection and phone notifications.
Back to the digital termites.
Exactly. It steals your most valuable asset, your attention, which you absolutely need for quality work. Put your phone on silent during those focused periods.
If you're a student, this means phone completely silent during study time. Game changer.
Totally transformative for concentration. Another practical tip, especially if you work collaboratively.
Yeah.
Set fixed times for meetings. Maybe dedicate just 1 hour each day, specifically for calls, check-ins, discussions.
That protects the rest of your day for that deep, focused work.
Right. It aligns perfectly with working at your natural pace and doing fewer things at once.
Makes sense.
And finally, the source really encourages you to set ambitious, high-impact goals.
Don't just scatter your focus on dozens of small, forgettable tasks.
Exactly. Choose projects that can make a significant, lasting difference. Like if you dream of starting something big in a place like Bandra.
Don't just dabble.
Right. Focus on one unique concept, like that distinct food delivery app idea they mentioned, and dedicate your slow, focused, quality energy to making that project magnificent.
It reminds me of that local baker in Mumbai described in the source.
The one who perfected just 5 types of bread.
Yes. Instead of offering 50 mediocre ones, and now people travel across the city, they line up.
because they know those 5 types are made with that obsession-level quality.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's just quickly recap the really powerful core ideas we've pulled from this source. First,
be ruthless about doing fewer things. Focus only on what's genuinely important and impactful.
second, respect your own energy. Work at a natural, sustainable pace. Avoid that constant draining sprint.
And third, cultivate an absolute obsession with the quality of your work, knowing that excellence is what creates lasting value and that intrinsic pride.
This material makes such a compelling case that even right in the middle of the Leah, that relentless rush,
It's not just possible, but actually necessary to slow down.
as the source puts it so beautifully, you need to stop sometimes.
Yeah, it's not about stopping progress, is it? It's about walking deliberately with focus on the right path.
Giving your dreams and your work the time and attention they truly deserve.
Like Priya, you can start trying these principles today. The source really encourages you. Start tonight.
What's the first step?
Before bed, write down just 3 truly important tasks for tomorrow. When you wake up, silence your phone for a dedicated work period.
And give those 3 tasks your focused, unscattered attention.
Yeah. The source promises that if you consistently apply these ideas, doing fewer, working at your pace, obsessing over quality,
You will see a real transformation in your life, in your work.
you can pursue those big dreams. You looked at the narrator, you looked at the narrator, slowly, deliberately, but with full passion and energy.
You can build something truly magnificent.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's maybe a provocative thought to sit with.
Okay?
What is that one truly significant goal or project that matters most to you personally?
What might you actually finally achieve if you stop trying to do everything fat quickly, superficially?
And instead, you committed to these principles of slow productivity.
Focusing on what's important, respecting your own rhythm, and prioritizing quality above absolutely everything else.